Okay, this is section 3.8, question 6, some more compound inequalities, and this one is asking us to graph the solution set and write the answer in interval notation. So essentially, compound inequalities just means that we have these two different sets here. I'm going to say purple and red. So all we're going to do is solve them individually. So we'll have 3w plus 4 less than or equal to 16. So we want to isolate the variables, so we'll subtract 4 on both sides, then we'll end up with 3w is less than or equal to 16 minus 4 gives us 12. I'm going to isolate that w, divide 3 on both sides, then we'll end up with w less than or equal to 12 divided by 3, which is 4. So the first part is that 4. Second part is 1/5 w minus 6 greater than negative 7. And so we want to isolate that variable. We'll add 6 to both sides, so we end up with 1/5 w greater than, and negative 7 plus 6 gives us negative 1. And we want to get that fraction to the other side to isolate w, so we'll multiply both sides by 5 over 1, or just 5. And so then we'll end up with w by itself now, greater than negative 1 times 5, which gives us negative 5. So there is our two solutions. So if we want to graph this, we'll graph this 4. We will fill in that circle because it's or equal to, or equal to, and then we will have my little trick here because that is going that way. That's how the arrow will look also, like so. And then as for the second, we have negative 5. Oops, I should probably write 4 on there. And because negative 5 is somewhere over here, let's say, and because we do not have the or equal to, we will not fill in the circle. But because that's pointing this way, we want the arrow to point the same way. So I will go that way. And this is negative 5. So our intersection is obviously between these 2 points. So if we want to put in this answer for the interval notation, we will have these two values here that I had wrote down. And as for the second part, I believe they're going to want us to put in where they overlap. So where that's going to be is going to be, we know our lower limit is that negative 5, the upper limit is that positive 4. Because it does not include negative 5, we're going to have the parenthesis. Because it does include positive 4, we have a bracket. So this will be that in interval notation. I wanted to just kind of go over this a little bit. You're going to see these unions represented by like these symbols, essentially. And in short, what it basically means is that the intersection, which is that upside down U, means that there's an overlap between two intervals. Whereas the union represents two intervals that are just unioned. They're not overlapping, they're just two separate intervals. This could be like negative 1 and 5, whatever they are. They just don't overlap. So when they don't overlap, you have a U. When they do, you have the A. And I kind of made a little shortcut here. It says that this is almost like an A for and, which means they intersect. And then the U just kind of means union or. So in the case of question number 9, this is obviously a union because there is no overlap here. So if they want to graph the union of the solution sets, that's kind of already been done for us. And then if we want to write that in interval notation, we're going to take these two inequalities that they kind of already given to us, and we're going to have this interval, which will be negative infinity to 2, and infinity is always going to be a parentheses or parentheses. And the 2, because it is not equal to, also has a parenthesis. So that's the first part. And as for this second part, z is going to be greater than or equal to 6. So our upper bound will be positive infinity because z is going to be greater than 6. So that means our low bound is going to be that positive 6, and because there's no equal to, we're going to have parentheses as well. And because these do not overlap, you're going to have a union because they do not intersect. So you're not going to use that upside down U. So this should be the answer.